All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do SEO keyword research using Semrush and absolutely everything you're going to need to know in order to do that effectively and get your website to rank. So firstly, why should you even listen to me? So I'm going to show you how I made a website of mine, which is a blog, get up to 20,000 users a month. You can see here according to Semrush by simply doing what I'm going to show you in this video. What I did is identified a niche that was not that hard to rank for, that in my opinion. And then I identified all the different keywords to go after and use the process that I'm going to talk about here in this video to do this. And I did this primarily all by blogging. There are next to no backlinks that I built on this blog. And you can see here it ranks for about 10,000 different keywords. And if I remove this, you can see that it's got approximately 470 something keywords in the top 3. This is nationally in America. So you can see that this method actually works. There's proof here. So first of all, what you need to do, you need to get Semrush. So Semrush is a tool that's going to allow you to do all the keyword research you need to do with organic search. There's a bunch of different SEO tools out there. I personally use Semrush and it's really, really good. So I recommend it. I'm going to put my affiliate link below this video. So if you want to be cool and support my channel, that's cool. You can click that link. And I believe you can get a 7-day free trial of the pro version, which is going to allow you to do everything that you need to do that I'm going to show you in this video. So even if you don't want to pay for it after that, you can do your keyword research in the first 7 days, get your list of keywords you want to rank for, and then target those afterwards. So now that we've got that out the way, you sign up for Semrush, you can now access the data. Here's what you need to do. So first of all, you want to throw in the keyword that you want to try and rank for into Semrush. So let's open a new page. What you will find is you'll go to Semrush and you'll have this up here. You can see this search bar. You can either type it in there or you can go to keyword magic tool and you can click that. I'm just going to type it in here. Let's say you want to try and rank for like plumber, right? I'm just going to pick a random topic. What it's going to do is you type in the main keyword here. Now, the first thing you need to do is actually identify what the main keyword is, and you want to type that in. Now, if you don't know, type in what you think it would be, and then what you can do is you can use this information to find out. So you type it in, you search. What Semrush is going to do is it's going to throw out all the data that it has on that specific keyword. You can obviously select the specific country you want. So if I change it to Australia, it's going to change the data to be specific to Australia. And then what happens is it gives you that specific keyword. It tells you what the volume is. It tells you its estimation of how difficult it's going to be to rank for this. I'm going to go over this in a minute. It's going to give you the total global volume of this keyword, how many people are searching for it internationally, which is usually not that relevant, but it can be good to know. Also, the cost per click, if you were to run ads on Google, how much it would cost you on average. The search intent as well. So you can see here informational and commercial. I'm going to go into all of these things so you know what this all actually means and what you should be looking for. And then a couple other metrics like the trend of people searching it and so on. Hey guys, real quick, if you want to add at least $100,000 to $300,000 per year in new business, guaranteed, or you literally don't pay, go to dominatemarketing.io to book a call with us and we'll show you exactly how we'll do that for you. Back to the video. Now here is where the important part is. So under keyword ideas, it gives you the variations of this keyword and it gives you questions and it gives you clusters. Now, personally, I find this clusters feature to be a bit useless. There used to be related keywords here, which you can still find in the keyword magic tool. So my recommendation would be don't pay attention to the keyword clusters. I don't find that very useful, but keyword variations, definitely. Questions, definitely. And then the third thing is you go into the keyword magic tool, as I showed you on the left. You would click that and then you get this list here where you can select related or broad match, which I'm going to cover all of this as well. So you've thrown in the main keyword and you got all this data. So now what you want to do is you would go through this and see what keyword is actually the main keyword that you want to go after. So usually the main keyword is the one that gets the most searches. So you can see here that plumber actually gets less searches than plumber near me, which gets 5 times as many searches per month as does the keyword plumber. So technically plumber near me is the main keyword here, but in any case, they're very, very similar. So in this case, plumber is the main keyword. And you can use that to then tell you where you should be, what pages you should be using to target these different keywords and which should have its own page and so on. I have another video that goes into depth about this, about how to actually do the keyword research to that level. In this video, I'm specifically covering how to use Semrush. In that video, I show you how to go through the process of figuring out which keywords you need to go and use. So what I'm going to do is put a link to that video above. So click that link if you want to watch that to learn how to actually go through the process of doing keyword research. Basically, what's going to happen here, going back to Semrush, is, like I said, you got all these keywords here. If we scroll down, it also gives you the actual search results page from Google where you can see the competitors for each of these keywords and what it's going to take to rank. So I want to go over each of these metrics quickly so that you know what you're actually looking at. So first of all, like I mentioned, the volume is simply how many people are looking for it. This is on average each month. It's not a set in stone figure, but it's pretty close there. Once you start getting into the lower volume ones, so I'll try and show you what I mean. If we go to volume and just go from lowest, you can see here that some of them have like 0 volume. And then, for instance here, number one plumbing company, it's showing 0 volume, but people are bidding up to $18 on Google for a click. Now, when you see that, that means that this keyword is clearly bringing in something because people are willing to pay for it. So obviously this is not that accurate. And the same thing here. So what you'll find is that, especially on the lower volume keywords, sometimes this data isn't fully accurate. So you just need to keep that in mind. You need to use multiple metrics to figure this stuff out, but it gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. Like if plumber's got 110,000 searches a month, obviously it's getting a high amount of volume. It's not going to be 0. So just bear that in mind though with the volume. Next is a keyword difficulty. So with the keyword difficulty, what you have to remember is that this is an estimation and a calculation that Semrush does. Every tool has its own keyword difficulty ranking that they all vary and they're all more or less there, but not always accurate. So what this is usually based on is a combination of the website's authority score, which is here, and I'm going to explain what that is shortly, and the referring domains that this website has or that particular page of that website has for that keyword. And then they come up with a calculation based on those and sometimes a few other things to figure out the likelihood of how hard it's going to be to rank. Now, again, these are not necessarily accurate, but it can give you a pretty good idea because, for instance, if this has got a KD score, which means keyword difficulty, if this has got a KD score of 80, I mean, it's not going to be easy to rank for even if this score is slightly off. So it gives you a pretty good idea. So what you kind of want to do, you can sort that out here as well by keyword difficulty. I'm going to go into each of these things in a minute, how to use this actual search, but you can sort it by keyword difficulty and you can also filter by different difficulties as well. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then the other thing you want to pay attention to is the search intent. So search intent means what are these people actually looking for when they search this keyword? Because Google is very heavy on search intent these days. And I've got a video on this as well. I'm going to put a link up here for that, where you actually have to have the correct search intent if you're going to rank for the keyword. And that basically means if somebody searches the keyword plumber, are they looking for what is a plumber or are they looking for a plumber? The results for these two things would be very different, and you have to hit the right one in order to actually rank for that keyword. Now, the good thing here is that Semrush kind of gives you an idea of what that actually is so that you can obviously target this keyword correctly. Now, plumber could go either way. As you see, it says both informational and commercial. Usually it'll just be one. So if we go down this list, you can see commercial, commercial. This is navigational and transactional, which means people are, for some reason, it thinks that people are looking to buy something if it's on plumbing Wikipedia. I'm not sure why that is, but again, some of these things are not always accurate. But you can see here, for instance, Rooter Plumbing, that's a brand name, and it's ranked this as navigational. And the reason why is because people are looking for that particular brand. So it's a navigational thing. They're not looking to hire a plumber. They're looking for that specific plumber. So that's what that means. So those are the main metrics that you want to keep an eye on. Now that you know what you're actually looking at with the data, let's go into the actual keyword tool and I'll show you how to actually use this thing. So let's say you've thrown it in the keyword plumber. This is the keyword magic tool, is where you'll really be spending most of your time. Now there's a bunch of filters here you can use that's going to help you do filter out the results that you want. So obviously if you've just started a new website, you're not going to be going after the keyword plumbing, which has a keyword difficulty score of 96. That is going to be extremely hard to rank for, even if you have a website that's pretty well established. So you wouldn't want to be going for this. So let's say we are starting a brand new plumbing business and a new plumbing website, or we're trying to rank someone else's plumbing website. What would you actually do? So, like I said, I would throw in the keyword plumber. And then what you can do is two things. You can filter here by volume, meaning how many people search the keyword every month. And you can filter here by keyword difficulty score. And you can also do intent if you want to be really specific, but usually I don't worry too much about that. I'll just go straight for all of them and then I'll pick them out. What I would typically start with is filter by keyword difficulty. So if you're in a brand new website, you're basically only going to be ranking for something that's very easy and maybe easy. So what I would do is I would select a custom range from 0. You can set it here to 30, hit apply. And what's going to happen is now it's only going to give you the keywords that are within that range that you actually stand a chance of ranking for. So what then you can do is select this filter here, set it from the easiest keyword, and then work your way up. So now you're going to have a list of keywords that are extremely easy to rank for, and they get low search volume, but some. You don't want to, if they get 0 search volume, then I usually wouldn't worry about it unless it's got the high CPC, like I mentioned earlier. But typically speaking, they don't. So now what can happen here is you can get a ton of like unrelated stuff. So let's say, for instance, see, these are all for specific areas like South Carolina. So if you're not in South Carolina, obviously this isn't going to apply to you. You can filter out these things as well. Like let's say, for instance, you're not 24-hour plumber. You can exclude the keyword 24-hour. Hang on. And then hit apply, and it's going to remove all that from there. So now you've got keywords that are more related to actually what you're doing. So what you would do now is we're starting to get like a more filtered result that's more relevant to what we're doing. So let's say, just to add another thing, let's say you're in a specific area, like let's say Florida. I'm just going to throw in like plumber FL. That's usually the keyword that people will type in. It's going to give you a little bit more specific results. Here you go. So let's say you're a plumber in Florida. You want to rank for these keywords. So now we have a list of keywords that are actually relevant to plumbing in Florida that are very, very easy and have a search volume of 20. So this is basically how you would do this. You could go through this process, filter these keywords, and then what you would want to start doing is targeting all of these keywords basically one by one that are relevant. So now you'd have to go through here and figure out what's actually relevant to your business. You know, do you serve Jacksonville? Do you serve Fort Lauderdale? Are you an emergency plumber, obviously? Are you a commercial plumber? If yes, you would want to go down this list and select these keywords and start targeting these keywords that you actually want to target. So what will happen here is once you start targeting the keywords from 0 to 30, once you start ranking for some of those, especially the harder ones, then you can start going up to the next level, which is like the possible and then the difficult and so on, and work your way up. But here, this is the overview of how to actually get these keywords. So now what you would want to do is, let's say you want to target some of these. So I'm just going to pick which, let's say you pick like random ones here you want to target. You would tick this list, and what you can do is you can add these to a keyword list. So you can see here, add to list on the right. You can add them to a list in Semrush. So you would hit add list. And now you can either make a list or you can select one of the ones that you already have. I'm just going to create a new list. I'm going to call it Plumber Florida 0 to 30. So we know what it is. I'm going to hit tick. And now it's going to add all these keywords to that list. So if we open that list, what we've done, hang on. Let's go back to the keyword manager where you can find the lists here on keyword manager. So if we go there, you're going to have this list saved in here. And now you'll have all these keywords that you want to rank saved for you in this list. So what you can do is you can go down, you can add to this later as well. So let's say you want to add more of them. Go down the list, tick them off, whichever ones, and then you can add them. You can either click the plus, so it's added already to the list, or you can tick this to select which list. So it'd be plumber in Florida, or you can just hit add to list again. and then you hit the list you want to add them to. And now it's going to add them to that list. So you can add up to 2,000, it says here, per list. And so now you've got that list with the keywords that you actually want to target. So now what you would want to do is go through this list and tick off each one of these keywords. Make sure you have, the page that's specifically targeting it or so on, depending on how you're going to target them. But that's how you do it. So now in Semrush, you got this list saved. Now what you would want to do, obviously, is to track these keywords so you know it's working. So what you would want to do is you would click all these keywords and you would want to go to, you can tick all these keywords, click the tick, and you can go send keywords and send to position tracking and hit apply. And now you can set up position tracking for whatever domain you want to target. So let's say you want to target like Plumber, Florida. So you could go like https://plumberflorida.com, and then you would select your location. So wherever it is, United States, and you would hit send keywords. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up a position tracking project. Now, mine is not working because I've used up all the slots I have for now in my account. But basically, once then you go into position tracking, you'll have a project in here, like you can see here. And if you click on it, like for instance, my blog, what's going to happen is you're going to have this now set up, what you can see on my screen. And you can go down here to top keywords, and it will show you all the keywords you added to the list, which is here. You can see position tracking. I'm now in position tracking for my website, and you can see here it's going to give me the whole list of keywords that I just added, and it's going to tell me where I rank. And you can also set it up to give you a comparison previous 7 days and so on. So you go down the list and it'll show you all the things you rank for. And that's how you set up position tracking. Now, these two things I've just shown you here, this is the primary way of how you would do keyword research. There's one other way you can do it. That is to go in here and either type in a competitor's name or type in your keyword and pick out the competitors from the list. So let's say, for instance, we typed in this. What you would want to do is go, let's say Jacksonville, Florida, just for the example's sake. You would go here and you could pick out these companies that are actually your competitors. So let's say Darley's Plumbing. If you click that one, if you click this one, if you can click this one, I'm just picking the three at random because I know that Forbes and Angie or Angie are not, and Yelp are not plumbing companies. You want to pick out the actual competitors. Now what happens is Semrush is going to give you an overview of this domain. And you can see all the keywords that at least Semrush has tracked that this domain is ranking for. So what you can do here as well is you can go into their keywords. Same here, click that. And it's going to tell you all the keywords they rank for. So what you can do is you can go down this list and find the keywords that are not that competitive and try and rank for these keywords where these guys are not doing as good of a job. So let's say, for instance, you would obviously start with the easier ones if you're ranking lower, but you can go for, let's say, we'll just sort it by difficulty, lowest at the top. And now you can see you've got the list of all the things they're not ranking for, or even they are ranking for, but they're not too hard to rank for. For instance, commercial plumbers, Jacksonville, Florida. It's got a keyword difficulty score of 0. We saw this one previously as well. But the interesting thing is, because you see I added this one to the list, you can add these to your list as well by clicking them. But basically you can see this one's got 90 search volume and it's very, very easy and nobody seems to be ranking for it, which is very interesting. Now you can see here drain cleaning as well. These guys are position 38 and it's probably because they don't have a page about it and their homepage is ranking. So if you were to make a page about this, you would probably go to number 1 pretty quickly. Now you can find that out by clicking the keyword, and you can see here the CPC is $18 on this one. So it's obviously worthwhile trying to rank for that keyword. People are paying for it. Now, if you click the keyword to actually see something, I'm going to show you what you can also look at. So you could go here, you see it says very easy, but if we go down here and see the competitors, we can find out if it actually is. So one thing you want to look for first of all is, do people have specific pages that are targeting this particular keyword? And in this case, it seems like they do. You can see drain cleaning services. These guys don't, these guys do. However, the other thing you want to look at here is, what's the page authority score and what are the referring domains of the pages on page 1? So right now you can see obviously Angie's got a big one because they're a major thing. These guys have a lot of backlinks and a few backlinks and okay authority score, but the rest of these guys are all 0. See 0, 0, 0. These guys have 6, these guys have 32, but these guys have 0 for this page, and there's no referring domains. So when you see something like this, this does mean that it's actually easy to rank for. And so you have a very high chance, if you made a page about this, and obviously your website is established as a plumbing website in Google's eyes, you have at least a little bit of topical authority, you're going to be able to rank for this keyword pretty easily. So this assessment is correct in that it is actually easy to rank for this keyword. Now, if you were to pick a different keyword, let's say we picked the hardest one, I'll just show you a comparison so you can see what the opposite side of this equation looks like. Let's say we picked plumbings or plumbing company nearby. That's probably a better one. If we go down to the search results, you see that's ranked as 70% difficulty. You see here how you've got so much authority score. These guys have like way more authority score, and some of these guys have some seriously high numbers of referring domains. Now, okay, that's Angie again, but if you look at like the businesses, okay, in this case, you see that you got these guys have 2,500 referring domains. And the reason why is because this is a plumbing company. They need more links because they're competing. If you look at all the other websites here, they might not necessarily have referring domains on this to this particular page, but these are all extremely high established companies like Better Business Bureau, Home Depot, Yelp, Angie twice, Yelp twice, because Google is giving these guys a lot of authority. And so you need to be aware of this. It might, even if it shows 0 referring domains, but you're competing with something like Yelp, they're going to win most of the time. So that's why the only one you can see here that's actually a plumbing business is Ferguson, and they need significantly more referring domains than the rest of these guys to actually rank for this keyword, and it's because they're competing with such big businesses. So this is what it means when it says keyword difficulty 70. This is going to be a very hard keyword to rank for, and you can see the difference here between the other one I just showed you with zero referring domains, 0 authority score. It'd be very, very easy. So basically, you would go through that list of the competitors' keywords and do very similarly to what we did previously in the keyword magic tool, and just add all of these ones that they're ranking for, that they're not either are ranking for or not, but they won't be too difficult to rank for. And you could do it. For instance, water heater installation, Jacksonville, Florida. That's another really good one. You could rank for that, and then get traffic there. So you can add all these to your keyword list as well. And now you've got a pretty good list of keywords that you should be targeting with your website in your keyword list in Semrush, that you can now go through and start targeting all of these different keywords. So that's basically it for the keyword research. I mean, what I've shown you here is basically how I go through when I do keyword research for my website or clients' websites to find keywords that I want to try and rank for. Either you got the keyword magic tool where you can throw in a bunch of different variations and see what kind of keywords it throws out, or you can look at your competitors. I would recommend just doing both to find out as many of these easy keywords you can, and then go after all the easy ones because they're low-hanging fruit that you can rank for immediately. And then when you start ranking for the easier keywords, it's going to be easier to get your website to rank for the harder keywords, and you just work your way up, establish more topical authority within that particular topic, and then you're going to start ranking for the harder keywords. So I hope that was helpful. If you did find it helpful, I would appreciate a like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions about any of this, do feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will actually respond to you and do my best to help you. If you're interested in more to do with SEO, I've got a bunch of videos on YouTube within an SEO course that you can watch where I describe to you how to do all the different parts of SEO. So I'm going to put a link to the description to that as well, so you can go watch that. I hope this video was helpful. I'll catch you on the next one.